Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Awesomecallstrading.com live cap webinar. Well, what can you say? Another great day. It was. Some mistakes were made. Um, some traders were acted like a deer in headlights, so that didn't help their situations. Um, but overall, I think the market gave us a lot of opportunity today. And as I talked about yesterday about headlines. Today, I really, when I'm going over the reviews, I'm going to really emphasize headlines and what they mean and why a short or a long should be played out in the call um, on certain stuff. And, there was one trade that we absolutely did here with perfection. It was a stock called Five. We also played VXTX, absolutely stunning. They were, and GLG, these were our top two small cap stocks in the room. And you could have made a fortune on VKTK if you just understood what they were talking about. GLG was also a very, very good stock to play out. My five just went to 134. They chased it all the way to 134. I was trying to get in at 133.20 and it popped. I held it. I'm going to go over Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm going to actually teach you why I went long. I know a lot of you were like, but Bed Bath & Beyond missed. I'm going to teach you why I went long. I'm going to show you why Weight Watchers was a short to 18 at the open, and then a long after that. I want to show you why APOG was going to hit 37 today. I'm going to show you fast why I felt 69 would be a topping on it. I'm going to show you why 5 was a short at the open to 130 to go long. I'm going to show you why ICPT was a short. Tesla was a good play. A little grinder, more or less. Boeing was a bigger pop than I expected, but Jenny nailed the short. Novalis did not work, obviously, in the room. We wanted to go to 84, 85. Nobody really lost. If it hit 82, the stock is hovering 82. It's like 81.50 to 82. You can't really lose on it, but the darn thing with the news today, you thought it would go to 84, 85. And of course, NVIDIA, typical NVIDIA, I want to pull back for 2 points and then smack it back up to 193, now 194. So I will show you. Let's start with GLG. Okay. Today, I really want to teach you headlines. Headlines are the key. And I think if you could just take a deep breath, a really big, deep breath, and I mean this sincerely, take a deep breath and just kind of absorb how you're going to hear this and how the news told you that the stock was basically going to come down. Okay, but before it comes down, you also have to understand that, and I'm gonna say this in a kind way. There are so much sheep out there that are in chat rooms that if a guy says or a girl says jump, or a Twitter feed says jump, because there's a lot of people that are not in chat rooms. And so a lot of people will chase other people's ideas. So there are more of those people than there are people in chat rooms. Do you understand? Because you need to really grasp that. Not everyone can afford a chat room. And so what happens is you get a group of people that follow each other that are in, iHub or Twitter or FinTwits or StockTwits. I mean, you name it. Or in these crap chat rooms that, just push anything it's got a pulse. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, this room is, obviously extremely different, but what we do is we actually can tell what everyone else is doing before it happens. So we actually predict how people are going to think and interact on the stock. And then when are we going to come in there and kill it and destroy the stock? And it's all in the headlines. It really, really comes down to the headlines. And I really, as today's webinar, as you're listening, I really, and this is where I think that if you could really grasp understanding a negative headline or a positive headline or a fake headline, you would just say to yourself, okay, I want to let this just keep popping, popping. And if you are short and it's going against you, keep reading that headline. Keep thinking to yourself, in the end, this is going to collapse. So, and it all comes down to scaling in and allowing the trade to work. And I'm talking about, listen, when you scale in, if you like to use 500 shares on your position or 300 shares, scaling in is a quarter to an eighth. You got to get started. The problem with most traders is they forget to either modify their amount of shares or they forget to put their limit orders in the way they want it. And so they click and all of a sudden they realize, oh, shoot, I'm 300 shares in. I didn't mean to do that. And then panic arises because now they have too many shares. And that is really the end result of why a trader actually loses on trades, is because they're so, what's the word? They scale in too much, too fast. So if the trade jumps 20 cents, 40 cents, 80 cents, they can't handle it. So instead of looking at the news now, where we know the stock is going to collapse and fail and do an offering, like 90% of them that when we find them that do, they end up losing only to sit and watch the stock do exactly what not only the chat room said it would do, but also they literally watch and they won't get back in the trade because they're already pissed off they lost on the trade. So there's a lot of psychological crap that goes inside of day trading. So, but if you understand the basis of the news and why the stock should collapse back down in the end, I think it will help to convince you that, hey, you know what, I know I'm down a little bit and I fucked up maybe on my entry, but maybe what I should do is go ahead and cut half of it out, not completely, but at least cut half out, and then add a little bit. Maybe just reorganize your position. Okay? AJ, you just explained a $5,000 loss last week. Okay. So that's what these webinars are for. Okay, yeah, can I charge you a mentorship program for $600 a month to be extra for me to tell you this stuff? Or do I do it for free? Listen, you pay enough to be in a room. That should be enough. Okay? All right? When you're trading alongside somebody who's got his shit together, okay, knows what the fuck he's doing. Now, what's interesting when you watch me trade, yeah, am I faster than you? Of course I am. Because unlike you, I see the move before it even happens. I know 5 is going to come to 130, go long. I know ICPT is going to drop to $100, $102 a share. I know NVIDIA is going to pull at the open 2 or 3 points and then pop. You don't. You don't. But that's why you're here. Because over time, how did I know Bed Bath & Beyond would be a long at the open? Are you fucking kidding me? How do I know this shit? I wish I had 16 arms. Click, 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 click. Because think about it. If I'm 85% accurate every day, that means 85% of my trades would be fucking. So if I lose on 2, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Because I already know where the stocks are going to go and why. It's the why. But I handpick a certain group because I can't trade them all. Like you, I'm on a budget, so I can only trade a certain amount. This is life. But I need to make enough every day to pay my bills. I'm not in here to hit home run. You never see me take, yeah, I'm going to go ICPT 7,000 shares short. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. Man, if I'm going to short that thing, I'm going 300-400. You know? So, my point is, when you're in a room like this and you're paying, now listen, you're paying $6.75 to be in this room every day. Okay, that is fucking chump change. Seriously. For what we do for you in here, and not just me, the other mods, the Discord room, I mean, come on. I mean, there's so much value in this room, but at the end of the day, you still pay $6.75. So I want to make sure you get every fucking dollar's worth. But at the same token, you need to learn the proper way to trade too. Stop thinking home run. Get that shit out of your mind. Don't get up in the morning and go, I'm going to make $2,000 today. Stop. Stop. Get up in the morning and go, I want to win on 2 or 3 trades today. The money will follow. The numbers will come. It'll all add up at the end of the day. If you do 100 shares, don't be ashamed. You do 50 shares. You do a quarter position, and then the stock goes the way you want, and then you're up 50 cents to $1. Who gives a fuck if you make $50 or $100? Don't yell at yourself because you should have took more. Don't. You won on a trade. Isn't that better than being red? You can't afford to be red. So proper scaling in is important. Never get in a trade full size. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't have mentality, I'm a home run today. I was watching the video yesterday. I love the person who does the videos. In one of the comments he says, well, I'll make it up tomorrow. Don't have that attitude. Just simply say to yourself, whatever mistakes I made today, I certainly will not do those tomorrow. And I think tomorrow I'm going to have a better day. Boom. Because the minute you start saying, I'm going to make more tomorrow, you will fuck up and make less. You will actually lose. Do you know why? Because you're betting on yourself that you're going to double up on your numbers. And when the stock goes against you, you're going to fuck up and lose. And then you won't trade for the rest of the day. And then you'll be looking down on yourself. Don't. Listen, I've come back from some horrific trades. I mean, ICPT chewed my ass up 3-4 weeks ago, 2 months ago. I lost like, what, $3,000-$4,000. MBD one time I lost $8,000 being stubborn. This is real money. But I don't do that shit anymore. Because I learned proper execution. I learned to scale in. I learned that if I could just do the numbers, hit 4 or 5 of them, I present 12 ideas a day. So if I'm going to play 5 or 6 of them, because I already know the directions of the stock, I'm going to win. So it's a numbers game for me. 200 shares here, 300 shares here, 400 shares here, maybe 500 shares, 1,000 if I'm going to take a push, like a GLG, because I know it's going to run. So I can just hurry up and get in, sell 500, sell 250, sell 250, I'm done. So I want you to listen to the headlines as we go over the trades so you have a better feel and sense of how to enter and execute the trade. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with GLG. Now GLG is gapping up. It's close to $2.03, and it's gapping up way over $3 a share. Okay, so it's $2.75, $3. It's got decent volume pre-market. First question is, why is it up? You do not trade a trade unless you know why. All right, let's all come to agreement on that. All right, now why? Why is it up? So we go to the scanner. All right, we go to look. We see it. GLG. Punch it up. Go over here. 411. Right, 410. And there was in the headline. All right. It wasn't this headline. It was, okay. Okay. China Bat Group enters into a strategic cooperation. Okay. I'm laughing because do you realize just how stupid that is? And look at the headline. Look how Global Newswire came out. Look, you got a little Batman figure. What is it? Cartoon? What are we trading cartoons now? A strategic cooperation. Do you know right now I'm strategically cooperating with you in the chat room? Listen to how it sounds. It's a private company, but they're going to do so. They're going to enter a strategic cooperation agreement with another company. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? All right. The used luxurious car is conducted under the brand name Bat Car. I'm seriously going to invest in a company called Bat Car in China? You see? You see? Where's the money? Where the fuck is the money? I don't see no money. We are pleased to partner with the Leon Group in a long-term relationship as we leverage our company. Oh, that's fucking great. Where do I sign up? Jesus, does that mean your company's worth 50 a share? No. It means it's stupid. It means it's dumb. It means it's a short. But you know that in Awesome Calls Trading. The world doesn't know it. So what does the world do? I have to anticipate what the world will do because I already know what I'm going to do. If I can find shares, I'm going to short the shit out of stock. But before I do that, I kind of have to let the sheep and all the crazy chat rooms and all the people following fin twits and stock twits and all these other twits to push the stock first because they don't know better. And then I got to, on top of that, I got to allow the short sellers to build their positions. So that's going to squeeze it more. So what do I do? Hey, you know what? Stock's going to go to 370. It's sitting at 275. What the fuck are you talking about, AJ? Hey, it's going to squeeze about a point, maybe a point and a quarter, point and a half, and then it's going to collapse. And it's going to fade all day. And that's what's going to happen. Because I'm AJ. You don't believe me? Look how I wrote it. Plain as day. Stock's going to pop to 370. When it comes, watch for topping, lower low set in, and then fade it all day. Right? And I even said this isn't even set in stone yet. What more do you fucking want from a chat room? What more? Is that not worth $6.75? So you're saying to yourself, so this is going to short all day? Absolutely. Once the lower low set in, you're fucked. It's done. So do I have to wait? If you don't want to go long, yeah, you got to wait for the sheep to chase it. Well, where's it going to go? Tell me. 370. 370 or more. That's it. Once it hits there, it's fucked. It's done. Really? Here you go. GLG. Look how it's traded for the last 5 days. What the fuck? It trades like a Batman automobile. Nothing. That's the way it should be trading. But today they're doing a cooperation agreement. What the fuck? You gonna eat at McDonald's? You cooperating, eating this fries? What the fuck is your purpose? Okay, I want to see cash flow coming in. I want to know with the company buying it. You're merging with who? You don't even talk about the company who they're merging with. No, because they don't want you to know. They just want you to buy their stock. No. So what do the sheep do? Well, the sheep chase it to 370 to $4. And as soon as they chase it and the shorts get in there, get enough in there, I said 370. There's 370 right here. So how do you trade it? If you want to short it, quarter position. Start around 350, quarter position, 100, 200 shares. Pops a little bit more, add another 100. Smile. Just relax. Take a chill pill. Because you want to short it. You don't want to long it. That's you. Some people want it. Me, I was fucking longing it because I didn't have shorts. So once it popped here, I said, fuck that shit. I'm walking it. And I ended up getting it through 4. I was out, I think, 390. I was live. This is me. I was like playing it here, 1,000 shares, sold 500, 250, 250. I was out right there, 389 or 391. Right, because I could see the move coming, and I could see the shorts piling in, and I could see it getting squeezed, but I still had a target of 370. Now, if I could be able to short like some of the people in the room, and my mindset was short, okay, then I would have probably waited for the 350 to $4 range, ran a 400 shares, added another 100 to 200, another 100 more shares here, and then maybe one more last out of 100. My average pod would have been about 376, and I would have just waited. And look at the stock. It's coming right back to where it belongs, 240 and under. Now, this should be proof enough for everyone in the chat room or anybody listening to this webinar. If the news was so great, like they wanted you to believe, why is the stock selling off and coming back to where it was? Because the news was bullshit. It didn't have any validation to it. It really didn't have anything. And this is the art of a pump and dump. This is the art of these stocks that are not even in the U.S. that come over here and just use us to help them make money. Okay? So, GLG. Let's do another one. Now this is even worse. VXTX. Now, before I tell you why I wanted to short the open, I first have to give props to Raphael. As I told you, Raphael is one of our great bio traders in this room. He's been with us almost 5 years now. This is Raphael. Raphael came in. He comes in almost every single day, and he was telling everyone yesterday to be picking up on VXTX. All right, he liked VXTX. This was his baby. So he came in the room yesterday. He knew they were going to give updated data information in the morning. So he told everybody, I'm going to overnight. There's a lot of people on Twitter that did overnight that I saw. But in the room, he gave us his explanation. And he was right. But what ended up doing was when you look at the news, they basically kind of I want to say the word regurgitated. They basically told you on, the same information you kind of already knew. But for me as a trader, when I looked at the headline, I saw through it. And what do I see through? And I want you to look at it. Just look at it with me, because this is important. This is what makes you see why I wanted to short. Okay. Okay. So here's the headline. VK is to present new data for phase 2 study in patients with all this other stuff, right? And okay. So right in the headline it says right here, an elevated late breaker presentation to highlight efficiency, safety, and tolerability results from a 12-week phase 2. There it is. Trial. It's a fucking trial. You're just giving us an update from 8 weeks ago now to 12 weeks and on a phase 2 trial. Okay? When you see that and it's written like that and they're just updating, all right? So you got to go after it. Now, here in this headline, look at this. Here's another thing that really came out. Let me see right here. Hold on. Let me go. That was 4.4. And then well tolerated studied right here. This is another headline that caught my attention. As of today, 4.11, it's well tolerated. Okay, but who cares, right? It's supposed to be tolerated, you know? And here again, new data from phase 2, and they're just basically reiterating old news from the 4th that it's well tolerated. Okay. All right, now I want you to think beyond the headline. How many things do you tolerate in your life? Don't laugh. Don't spit up your coffee or juice. How many things do you tolerate? Huh? You eat some food that you don't want to, but you tolerate it, right? What else do you tolerate that you don't want to do? You got to do this and you don't want to tolerate it, Think about it. The drug was well tolerated. Oh, what's it supposed to be? Throw up? As soon as you take the drug, you throw up? It's not tolerated? You haven't given me anything more for me to go, oh my God, your stock's worth $40 a share. So why is it being pushed? Why is it being pushed? Because it's overexcited. People are just like, oh my God, there's something going on, and people don't really read. It's already hit the primary endpoint on the 4th, right? So now you're just re-putting direct. Because look, on the 4th, right here, I just showed you, they already met the primary endpoint, right? Right there, it reported successfully repeated. So they already had its move, but they need more money. So they come back on the 11th to go, the doses are well tolerated. And you're supposed to what? And they hold a press conference 7 days later. Why? You know what they're doing? They need money. And they see how the market reacts to whatever they say. Well, you need to be smarter than that. Right? When on the 4th, what did I do on the 4th? Huh? Wasn't I one of the main guys that shorted the stock on the 4th? Huh? Remember that? Remember that gap up and pop? Huh? Who the hell shorted that? That's right, AJ Trader. Every time they had news, every time they popped, AJ Trader came in and shorted it. Every time. Didn't matter what it was. See that? So today here we are again. They needed more money. And each time they do it, they do a little bit of offerings. This was the one I caught the most. Remember that one? I'll never forget that. And guess what? The fourth. Primary 2 endpoint met. Popped up here. I said it would have an offering. Look at that. Fell right and collapsed. Now here we are again. So what's the first thing I tell the chat room? Short the stock. And add on any pop. Get rid of it. It's regurgitated news. Results are promising 12x study. Just another pop and raise. That's it. In my opinion, any pop should be followed by a gap fill sell back to $10.40 and under. In my opinion, this is nothing news. It's overhyped. Sheep will chase it, let it pop to 11, and get it to 10.40 and under. Do you want to see something? This is live. Do you want to see something? GLG. What did I tell you? This is live. Think of how much money all of you would have made if you were in our room. AJ knew the stock was going to come right back down to $2.20 a share. There was no question the stock was coming right back down to $2.20 a share. Didn't I just explain to you that everyone has to chase it first? Because they don't understand? I want you to look at the stock now. $2.20 a share. Don't fuck with me. I told you yesterday, stop fucking with me. Trade with me. Imagine 2,000 shares short at 380. You just made $5,000 today. Doing what? Something that you already knew where it was going to go before it got there. It's too fucking obvious for people like us in here. Why do you think we are who we are? I don't need to impress you with a fucking bunch of charts and lines and, just, the death zone, the critical zone, the free zone. I mean, stop. Stop with all this garbage out there. It's just a simple pop and drop. But you have to get in the mentality of the understanding how sheep and non-educated traders work. How shorts chase each other to pile up. Got to get in the head. And when you get in that, you just take 500 shares, 1,000, put it in a corner somewhere, and at the end of the day, you cash out. That's it. You don't worry about it going against you because you didn't size in. And even if you didn't add, look, as I'm talking to you live, here comes the 220. There it is, 220 a share. Okay? Oh, Ali just said they had an offering at 220 a share. Jesus. Whew. Anyway, going back to work here. So, VXTX. So what is it that you do? Scale in short. Here's, anything at 11, scale in. Take 500 shares. If it pops, add a little bit more. Take 250, 300. It doesn't matter. Take a quarter position. If it pops, add into it. Don't worry. At the end of the day, the stock's going to come back down to 1040. Remember I said 1040 and under? Yes. Did it come below 10? That's great. Look at the 1040 spot. See the 1040 spot right there? Literally in what? 7 minutes. You were done trading. 500 shares, 60 cents, $300. If you stayed with it, wait for the 10 and under. Why? Because it's reiterated news. All right, let's do another one. All right, let's do 5. I want you to look at 5. All right. Now 5 caught a nice upgrade today from JP Morgan. Okay. Great upgrade today. Love it. I caught this from Palmer's feed this morning. It was his feed that I caught it from. Right. and Palmer's banked the trade. So I always get up every morning. First thing I do is I go to his feed because he's on the East Coast, so he's up way before me. So I go to his feed and I just go up this and I go like this, bank the trade, and I go like this, hit Palmer, and I go do his. He only tweets a few things, and there's 5. Oh, overweight for neutral on my list to trade. That's it. That's all I need to do. That's all you have to tell me. I don't need to do anything else. And he even told me when it closed yesterday. I knew right then and there. All I had to do was pull it up. I saw a gap up. It was done. It was done. All right. So how do you do this stock? Come on, traders. Really? I mean, really? I hope somebody tweets to GLG, Ali, Christian, Steve B. I mean, that's talent right there, don't you think? GLG. Somebody screenshot that and go, this was called hours before the market even opened. Anyway, so 5, cut an upgrade, right? And so when you go to your thing here on 5, right? And there it is. So 150 JP Morgan. Okay, so we already know that now, right? How do you trade the stock? Well, we got to look to see what the stock is doing. Oh, look at that. It's gapping up. See the gap up? Closed at 129, just like he said. Gapping up to 134. What do you think I'm going to do? What do you think you should all do? What is the first thing on your mind? Fill the gap. How can anyone lose on this trade? How can, say to yourself, there's no way I can lose on this trade. No fucking way. Not today. This is my baby. 100 shares, 200 shares, 300 shares. I'm going to get 2 points. You should get up with so much fucking excitement when you see something like this, and that should be your only focus. And guess what? It was Palmer's only focus today too. He had limited time. He's a part-time trader, and his only trade today was his own call. Okay? So all you have to do is get in the morning, pre-market or open, and I said short the stock at 134. Add on any pop at the open. Don't worry about it. Stock will go down to 130 and then go long. That's what I said. That's exactly what I wrote. That's exactly what I said. That's what I said to do, to execute, to trade it. There is no fucking feasible way anyone could be read in the room. No way. No way. This should be one of the top dog trades that you look for. A gap up on an analyst call. It should be number 1 in your head. If you want to make fucking money, take the obvious trade. Take the trade that really nobody's going to take because they don't understand it. Do you know why it's so thin up here? Do you know why very voluminous? Because 99% of the chat rooms won't fucking trade it. They don't get it. This is like easy money for you because it's not crowded. Because nobody gets what the fuck we do here. Now I want you to see. Here's the entry to short. 133, 133.50. Right? Didn't I just fucking tell you in writing the stock's going to go to 130? Huh? Look. 5. 134 short. Room to add. 130 pull. Long it. What more do you want for $6 a day? You want me to fucking bake you a cake? Huh? Put sprinkles on it? Huh? Take a Snapchat of you with put hearts around your head? What the fuck you want from me? What do you want? Jesus Christ, what do you want? I want to make an excuse. Okay. I can't help you in that. You have to make your own. Right? So here you go. Here's the short. Slammed. Next. 250 shares, 3.750 for the day. Right? 130 long. Oh, I'm sorry. It only hit 129.86. Here, you want the change? There you go. There's 14 cents. Go spend it somewhere. Long it. 134 a share. How fucking hard was that? You can't say shit right now. None of you. All you can do is go, fuck. I could have done that one. That was stupid of me. Yeah. I used to be that guy too. But you know what? What really irritated me was I traded the shit in front of everyone. 4 times, 3 times, and each time I made money. I nailed the short, and I nailed the long twice. Let's do another one. You ever heard of APOG? No. What is that? Is that eggnog with an A? Oh my God. Jesus, what do you trade? Okay. You don't know this. I know this. 16 years, you 2 years, you 1 year. You mods that run other rooms, you don't know this because you're just your kids, right? You're trading in a man's world, your children. APOG is a Wall Street investor. They love the stock. When the stock gapped down to 34, 35, all I saw was 37. The stock is going to 37. It's going to get bought up and go to 37. Just long it at the open and go to 37. Don't fucking argue. I didn't even really need to see the earnings report. I just know. The stock always gets bought up on weakness. Investors at Wall Street love APOG. If you don't know it now, you know it today. If the stock gaps down 4 or 5 points, you have to be a buyer. It's just the way the stock operates. It does it on every quarter. If the gaps up, they usually sell off, fill the gap, and then grind. If they pull, they usually get back up over a 3 or 4 day period. You literally can buy 39 calls on this trade, and in 4 or 5 days, you'll see it right back up. But for a day trade, you have to long the stock to 37. And that's it. That's the call. So if you look at my notes on APOG, right there. If this sells off even more, buy. The stock will short cover and go to 37. That's it. That's just it. It's going to have a nice bounce and go to 37. It didn't matter if they really issued downside guidance. It didn't really matter. We're still going to go to 37. That's just the way that the stock works. So that was the call on APOG. And I just showed you. And it's moving right now. It's 36.58. Okay. ICPT. I traded this, and I was right on the call, but because I was kind of all over the place doing other trades, that's my excuse. I have to have one. I chased it, and then I was a deer in headlights. I was down 2.25 points, but I got 1 and I think 1 1/8 back. So very upset with myself how I executed this, and it was just my own fault because I just chased. And I laugh at it because I know I won't do that again. And if I do, but what I did on this was I used smaller size. And because I was chasing, so I was only playing with 100 shares. And I didn't get all bent up, but I still lost. But the call was great. There was no question about it. And there was a lot of traders that did very well in the trade. Basically, it was the phase 3 data came out on safety issues. It wasn't that attractive to investors. It's not what the investors wanted to hear, so the stock ended up selling off. And then someone did bank huge on 1K made 100 calls. Somebody just made millions of dollars today. I mean, seriously, somebody just got paid. Anyway, I felt based off of that 1K May 100 guy or girl or whatever, I figured the stock would probably hit 100. So I wanted any pop at the open to 112 if it did, to try to just short the stock. And if it, and I want you to see how we played this because it was really fun. A lot of you don't really recognize chart patterns. You kind of trade maybe with emotion, but Alex was he's one of our really good traders in here, annual subscriber. Okay, here's the short. So I wanted the short to come down. So we were short the stock at 112 area, right? And the open. And also I believe Gianni also was shorting. Gianni actually in pre-market, he actually told the room to go long 108 and he hit 114. Very thin. Not a lot of people played it, but a few people made a couple points on it. So I have to give him props on that. Well executed in pre-market. He was an hour before the market even opened. So he understood what he was looking for. When I got in, I saw where it was, and it wasn't hitting 112. So I told traders, If it hits 112, take it to 115. If it doesn't and snaps to 110, the stock will fade and we can try to get to 100. Now, in the midst of all this, when it started to fade off, it was right here. A double bottom got hit right off the bottom. See that? See that? See this? And so we got a nice short off the 110. We got a clean 4 points. But once you get that double pattern right there, you see it? I'm blowing it up for you. I immediately told every cover, 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 cover. Get out of there. And some people who couldn't short, guess what they did? They heard it and went long. And the minute they heard it, they made 2 points. All right. So now the key to this, I'm teaching chat rooms. I have to. I mean, that's why they're here every hour. That's why I announce it on Twitter. But thank you, Mr. Purdue, for recognizing that. Okay. So you see right here? So what I'm doing now, you can't short the stock. You just cover and play the points to the upside. But you can't short it. You have to wait for it to break. And then once it breaks, you short it again. Then you're going to get 2 more points to the downside. How do I know this? Because I'm fucking AJ. That's why. All right? Got to understand chart patterns. Okay? So guess what happened? As soon as it broke, look at that. Like fucking clockwork. Boom. Now that's trading. That's trading. All right? Gorgeous play. I didn't get quite 100, but who gives a shit? Still win. Great fucking trade. Let's do another one. Fast. Now, Fast had good earnings, but Fast doesn't really break out too much. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of short into the call, and then I wanted to long the call basically to $69 a share. And that's pretty much the trade. I felt it would give us a point and a half to the upside. I really wanted a little bit more sell-off into the call. This is our money call right here. And he kind of dragged it out. He was actually kind of spoiling a little bit, dropped like 20, 30 cents. But once he was done with the call, the stock ended up running. And I read the report and I felt the stock was worth $69 today. It's kind of just how I looked at it. And so if you look at my call on Fast, I think the stock will be 69 and then you could short it. And keep in mind the conference call is coming. It should bounce. It's not a huge beat, but and see, this is what separates me from every trader in the world. I read the report so intense that I can actually tell you where I think the stock will stop. I'm actually like I don't know, what do you call me? Like a market maker or an investor, or I just evaluate the stock so well that I can actually tell you where it should stop. So that's what I did. Clay says I'm Nostradamus. I don't know. I just saw it and that's a $69 stock based on the earnings. I mean, who does that? Anyway, I hit it right on the money, 69 a share. And again, I wrote this way before the market even opened. It's kind of just weird, huh? You're in a room that does that every day. Okay, let's do one more, and then we'll call it a day. Okay. Weight Watchers. I'm gonna give you Weight Watchers. No. Bed Bath and Beyond. Let's close that with Bed Bath and Beyond. I'm gonna teach you something now. All right, you chat rooms in here, fucking assholes, pricks, little bitches. Okay, I'm gonna show you something. All right, pay attention so you can sound important on your next call. Bed Bath and Beyond didn't have really bad earnings. They weren't great. All right, they're doing a little bit more strategic fixing of their company, but the stock has already taken a huge beating. I want you to look at the last 1 year. It's just getting smashed. Down in the tens. It's trying to recover. They're trying to do everything. They replaced some of the board members, the directors. They're doing something. Okay. When you look at the stock, you have to understand how to trade it. And when it pulled, I told everyone to long at 17. And I felt the stock would go to 18 or more. And the reason is, and I'll show you the call. Bed Bath & Beyond. See the call? Long at 17. The stock was sitting at like 16.98 this morning. So I want everyone to start logging at 17, 17.25 and look for 1 point. If the stock did pull to 16, don't worry. All right? It had mixed earnings. You were going to get a point. So that was already guaranteed. And I mean guaranteed. But do you know why? Look what I put on the bottom. Price target upgrades this morning, which tells me to buy the weakness today. You see what I do? I do the homework for you, and then I tell you the why. Why am I telling you to buy the stock? Now I'm going to teach you. Now watch. You ready? Ready, chat rooms? Everybody's lighting up. I can see it's like a Christmas tree in here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you now. Don't tell me that I didn't fucking teach you this shit. I want you to look at something. Wedbush raises. Interesting. UBS raises. Interesting. Guggenheim. Deutsche Bank raises. Okay. Everyone's raising the stock all of a sudden. What does that tell you to do? Think. Means buy the weakness. See that? If it was so bad, the price targets would have been reduced, not upped. That is why I said do not short the stock. You see that? You see that? See how fucking great this room is? It dissects the news and makes it make sense. If UBS and Wedbush and Deutsche Bank and Morgan Stanley are telling me to buy the fucking weakness, why would I tell you to short the stock? Which means that you can actually come in here and with 3,000 shares, go long at 17 and make $3,000 by the afternoon. I told you where the stock would go and the why. All you had to do was execute. That's what we do. So that concludes today's webinar. I think I gave you so much education today. I spent 50 minutes with you. I think I killed it, knocked it out of the park. I think you're a better trader after today. I hope you listen to this webinar. I hope you enjoy it. And you want to trade with me tomorrow, trade with us. We're the greatest chat room in the world, hands down. Nobody can compete with us. The only people that compete with us is ourselves. Every day you get this, you get 12 more shots tomorrow. You're going to do well. It's just, it is what it is. Okay? So click here and boom, you're on the website. Scroll down. You can read all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews, whatever you want to do. All you got to do is just click and you're in the room. And that's it. You're all done. All right? So, and here's your membership. Click there, boom. And you are ready to trade, just like that. Okay? And that is our conclusion to the great webinar on April 11th, 2019. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Be well.